Alright, so the Detroit Lions coming off a disappointing 16-9 loss to the Eagles. Had a lot of offensive struggles in that one. Lions defense played great and gave them a chance at the end of the game, but they did fall on the road, looking to bounce back this week against the Giants. However, the Detroit Lions did get some pretty good news here, as the Lions did announce that they have activated linebacker Malcolm Rodriguez from the physically unable to perform list to the team's active 53-man roster. Lions already had an open spot on their roster after placing tight end Sam Laporta on injured reserve. They did that on Saturday, which was a huge blow, but Rodriguez is returning after suffering a torn ACL in the Lions Thanksgiving game against the Buffalo Bills last season. He was set to return earlier, did have a setback in recovery, but they have now activated him from the physically unable to perform list. Now, he did return to practice 3 weeks ago, and Tuesday did mark the end of his 21-day evaluation period, so Detroit had to make a decision to put him on the 53-man roster or put him to season-ending reserve. So he will be eligible to play in Sunday's game against the New York Giants. The Lions obviously already have Jack Campbell, Alex Anzalone, Derek Barnes. They have been all performing at a high level this season, but getting Rodriguez back will be great for depth here for the Lions and should take some weight off, a couple other players. And it might not be the only good news the Lions get as far as the injury front goes. Dan Campbell did say this week that DJ Reed looks pretty positive here. We're going to get him a week of work here and see where he's at. And obviously Marcus Davenport's getting better. Probably going to start Khalil Dorsey's clock this week. And he said probably Reed and Rodrigo right now would be the top of that list. But Josh Pascal was getting better. We're kind of getting in a good place here. Kirby Joseph, he's getting better. But he said, if you ask me right now, I don't know if I see him in this week, but he is getting better. So that's what he had to say on the injury front. And he did say that Rodriguez and DJ Reed are at the top of the list. So Lions could be getting cornerback DJ Reed back from injured reserve this week as well. So potentially more good news on the way, but they are getting Malcolm Rodriguez back and also looking to potentially get other players back here in the near future. And how about this Lions defense? They played a phenomenal game against the Eagles. Again, they kept them in the game with the offense struggling all game long. Unfortunately, due to that terrible pass interference call, Lions offense didn't get the ball back to try and go and tie the game up, but the defense played really good. They were also put in some pretty bad situations, and they stepped up and certainly made this game a ball game. But as far as the offense goes, Jared Goff was getting pressured all game long. He had one of his worst games. Credit to the Eagles defense and that defensive line. And when it seemed like, when they weren't getting pressure on Jared Goff, they were tipping his passes and batting him down. But obviously this Lions offensive line has struggled at times this season, and they struggled again against the Eagles. 3.5 yards per carry on the ground, and again Jared Goff was hurried and was inaccurate all night long, obviously. But Dan Campbell did say that I believe in these guys, man. I do. I just think the more they play together and they mesh and we just do things that we do well, every game's different. There's a couple of things I wish yesterday maybe I do differently in just the way that we go about attacking those guys. So he does believe, there's more he can do to lean into that unit's strengths. But I just go back to it, man. I just believe in these guys. I think that they are good enough. They know how to play together. We've just got to be a little more consistent in areas. So offensive line, again, they have struggled at times this season. It was another struggle against the Eagles. But like Dan Campbell said, the more they play together, the more they mesh together, they're only going to get better here as the season goes on, hopefully. I mean, they shouldn't regress. If they do, that is not a good sign. But as the season goes on, as the Lions push for a playoff spot, this offensive line should only continue to mesh together and get better. But now the Lions have a chance to bounce back here in a big way going up against this Giants team, as they are 2-9 on the season. And right now the Lions are entering this matchup as 10.5-point favorites, as they do return back to Ford Field. Now the Giants should get Jackson Dart back, the rookie quarterback, missed week 11 with a concussion. They should be getting him back against this Lions defense, although you already know Dan Campbell led Lions team following a loss, going back home. They're going to be looking to bounce back in a big way, and the Lions, they need this one here against the Giants, and then They obviously play Thursday, Thanksgiving, against the Packers following this Giants game. So they need some momentum here going into that game as they look to rebound and get revenge on the Green Bay Packers. But with that, that's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you want to see more Lions content on this channel, let me know in the comment section, drop a like, and also subscribe for more if you are new around here. I greatly appreciate it. But with that, hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, and we will see you guys in the next video.